Well, I'm going to break down for you guys really quick how to make money and as much money as possible in the life insurance space, especially if you're broke. So I've met so many people, hundreds, if not thousands of agents that go through the life insurance industry and work 12-hour days and still get stuck at, $3,000-$4,000 a month in income. And they're atrociously broke. It is absolutely disgusting. So I've got in my notes 4 steps for you guys to kind of implement. And the first step comes with kind of a mindset thing, which I typically hate, but we need to start with the truth and acknowledging where are you going wrong, what are you doing wrong, and how we can fix it. So you have to understand, first off, nobody's broke because of lack of opportunity. You are broke because you're not acknowledging that you might be in the wrong model, you might be with the wrong people, and as much as I don't want to, again, get into the cliche mindset and the mental things, you might have the wrong mindset as well. So first things first, you need to have truth exposure, and you need to expose yourself to what is it that you don't see and what do you do see. You need to contrast between the two. There's 2 different types of models in the life insurance space. There's the captive model, and this is very broadly speaking, and there's the brokerage model. In both of those models, you can have bad people, manipulative people that will put you at low comps, hold you back, manipulate you, and put you into essentially a captive system where you can't leave ever and you don't own your book of business. So you need to very quickly figure out, do you own your business? The person that you're following, are they giving you the right advice? And more importantly, do they have the money in the life that you want to have? Because odds are you're probably going to create something similar to them if they're your upline, or you're at least contained to them as well. So you need to be able to expose the flaws of the model that you're in and very quickly acknowledge that, and then assess the situation and very quickly act upon the situation as well. The second thing is we need to cut, and you need to cut fast. So you don't need a new CRM, a ring light, all these new special leads and different things like that. Odds are, again, if you're in the wrong place, you're with the wrong people, you're more than likely buying overpriced leads, or you have an extremely low compensation. You're in a captive model. You're limited to one product, so you're cooking yourself. And so you have slow uplines that are taking this override off of you, and they're not answering. The worst thing in the world is you have some upline. I can tell you a story. I remember when I first got into the business, one of my first times out in the field, my upline takes me out in the field at like 4 p.m., which is the day's pretty much over with, and we stop at Dunkin' Donuts. He goes to the bathroom for an hour. I think he was doing Adderall, like crushing up Adderall and snorting Adderall from, what one of my uplines had told me about the guy's habits and tendencies. And from there, we go knock on one door. I think we did like a half semi-presentation, like not even necessarily a presentation. Then we get back in the car and he's like, well, let's just head home. After my first day in the field, we stop at a car wash. I literally have $2-3 to my name. He asks, hey, I don't have cash on me. Can I borrow the cash so we can get a car wash? He had a sick car though. He had a Mercedes AMG C63. Makes me help him wash the car. I'm 18 years old at the point. This dude's like 35, 36. I helped wash the car, paid for the car wash, head back, and I was head over heels though, because I'd never seen people make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week. Let alone hearing people could make that in a month. I was, just flabbergasted. So I'll tell you guys, I believe that 98% of it is you are in the wrong model with the wrong people. And so you need to cut out these bad people. You need to cut out these overpriced leads and any training that's not producing income. Today, this week, the procrastination is disgusting in the sales world, especially the life insurance world. You can start to tell who's full of crap and who doesn't know what they're doing and what they're talking about by how many systems and trainings and things they plug into the business to kind of create a makeup of the actual lack of value that they're willing to give you. And the value shouldn't be measured based off of how many trainings and meetings they can give you, because life insurance is very simple. You're selling money to human beings that are acknowledging they're going to die, and they want to make sure there's money left behind for their family to take care of their, death expenses, estate planning, whatever it might be, or they want to utilize life insurance as some form of an investment. So you're just selling money to people that want to store death money, right? So other than that, you can't get more trainings, so people are selling you on these trainings and systems and that there's a perfect lead out there. I come from a company where the leads were very, very, very low quality. So I can tell you firsthand from now generating, creating our own leads can only get so good. The lead can only get so good, and you are only going to get so good when it comes to sales psychology, what to say, when to say it, and what not to say. You have to understand that sales is a sort game. And for you to get richer faster, you need to sort faster and you need to sort bigger clients faster. So step one would be you need to work more, and step two would be working smarter. So when people are like, well, I need to work more, it's like, yeah, that doesn't mean you starting at 11 a.m. That means you should be starting at 7, 8 a.m., dialing intentionally. And people are like, well, I don't have leads. I don't have money because I'm broke. What is a lead? How do you define a lead? It's a human being. So what human beings are you reaching out to today, asking for referrals, incentivizing for referral? What are you doing to create opportunity? What are you doing to create more opportunity with the situation that you're in? Because a lot of people, it's like, it's not my problem, but it is your fault. And if you aren't willing to solve for it, then you have to accept what you're getting right now. Third thing is the fastest path to cash. So you need to find a comp first business model. People that put the cash and the compensation first. You get into business for one thing, I hope, and that's for cash, right? You're in business, you got into sales, you wanted to make a bunch of money because you saw someone making a bunch of money. If you get into a business that says, we don't like to talk about money here, we don't like to talk about compensation here, we don't like to talk about ownership or equity here, you should run. That is the biggest red flag in the world. What do you mean we don't want to talk about money, equity, and cash? That should be the first and only conversation. A majority, if not all of the conversation, should be around what is in it for you, because you should be getting involved with a purely capitalistic model. And all that simply means is you get paid what you're worth. So the value you bring to the marketplace, that should be the exact reciprocity. Here's what I'm bringing. What are you giving? You don't get more than what you bring, but you don't get less than what you bring as well. And a lot of people are bringing a lot of value to a company that's bringing you back way less than what you're actually worth. So find a compensation first business model in the life insurance space or the sales space in general. If you're watching this, people aren't going to like this, but you should call your 100 warm contacts that's don't sell. You're just asking questions. So these are individuals I'm hitting up and I'm asking them. I'm hitting them up and I'm asking them. I'll tell you guys from experience. I still do this to every single week, every single month. I'm contacting the individuals that I want to do business with and I'm asking them, hey, who do you know that might find interest in my product or service? Here's what I'm selling and here's what we have available. So if you're not doing that and you're too good for that, then you're too good to make money. You're too good to level up for the position that you're in. You're going to stay broke and stay exactly where you're at. So the individuals that aren't willing to do the free things cost you your time, they cost you energy, they cost you your ego. So what's nice about spending money on leads is it's not humiliating and it just costs you your money. But the issue is you have no money right now. So you have no choice. You can stay broke or you can spend your time, energy, and ego. You know, it's unfortunate, but you have to go on social media. It doesn't cost you any money. It costs you your ego because I don't want to go talk about my product or service. Well, if you're not proud about your product or service, go work for somebody that is. Super simple. Offer real value fast, no fluff pitch. I've been swearing by this since the day one of my sales taking off. Is I never had a sales script that I really stood by. My foundation has been this when it comes to sales. It's a 2 or 3 step process. The first step is I'm acknowledging why I'm there with the client. Like, hey, well, here's why I called you. Here's why I'm here. Here's what I have to offer. So the second step is that I describe the offer. Here's the value. Here's where I perceive you have a problem. And here's the solution. And then the third step is this. Do you want this solution? Do you find value in this solution? And if not, it's a yes or no. If not, who do you know that would? I work off commission, so please refer someone to work with me, please, because I'm not going to be able to eat. My close is the please close. Because my script is honesty. I know if I get in front of enough people, I'm going to make money. So I've always relied on my work ethic and my honesty, transparency. And then also as I started to make more money, but you're broke, so this doesn't really apply to you, but those of you who have money, I would reinvest it back into my business and use the leverage points of what makes me more money, the dialing or knocking on doors or the actual sitting down and doing a presentation. Well, the sitting down and doing the presentation made me more money. So I would pay from my profits from the presentations to have someone dial or knock on doors to set me appointments. Now I've got the appointment set, and then I'd make more money. And then I would have someone help me with paperwork, and now I'm making more money. And then I started to train and teach people how to do that. But that's for the next video. So this one is just how to make money fast. You're broke, you're in life insurance, you're trying to figure this thing out. So the last step, how to scale to 10,000 in 5 minutes or less. So most people never get rich in life insurance because they stop at sales. You need to learn to stack a warm market, use proof, your own sales screenshots, get agent referrals, 2 to 3 people, every client you knows who could also sell, who also knows somebody that you need to know. So super, super simple, guys. I've seen broke people in the life insurance space turn their lives around in one day. You can literally change your life in one day if you're willing to not. It isn't a matter of you figuring something out that you don't know. It's a matter of you figuring out what you already know, sucking it up and doing it because you just don't want to do it. I was just telling, my girl, I was telling Gally prior to this, I was like, something people need to realize and know and do is it's the thing that you're not willing to do or the thing that you really don't want to do, the most uncomfortable question, the most uncomfortable thing that you want to do in your life, odds are that's the thing you need to do that's going to change your life. Maybe it isn't staying in life insurance. Maybe it's not staying in the sales world. Maybe you need to, everything is sales, but maybe you need to open up your own business. You need to go do something else for a period of time. But if you don't do it with full honesty and awareness, self-awareness of what do you suck at? What are you really good at? What do you need to do that you don't want to do? It's usually the thing you don't want to do because it's super uncomfortable. You're going to get laughed at. It's going to take forever. It's going to be the hardest thing that you have to do. It's like fighting. Like when it comes to jiu-jitsu, nobody wants to do the warm-ups. Nobody wants to do basics. Basics and warm-ups is typically what separates high-level guys from low-level guys is you get really good at the basics. And then when I think of fighting, many people don't want to do conditioning. They don't want to work the same basic moves, the 1-2 leg kick, 1-2 leg kick, 1-2 leg kick. You know what I mean? And working the ground game and working out, here's how you wrestle up. Nobody wants to do it because it's tiring and it's boring. Everybody wants to do a spinning heel kick and a flying knee. And it's like, calm down, do what you don't want to do for long enough, and eventually you can do whatever you want to do. It applies to business. It applies to relationships. Suck it up and do what you have to do. If you watch the 5 minutes, however long, 10, 15 minutes this video is, and you were hoping there was some secret in here, you're what's wrong with your life. There is no secret. You are the secret. God woke you up for some reason, had you watch this video, and this is your wake-up call to stop being soft. You already have enough. Your ancestors didn't go through hell, war, plague, saber-toothed tigers, dinosaurs, cowboys, and Indians for you to sit around, wait around, and hope that some magical Santa Claus or something is going to come down and save you and give you the perfect lead, the perfect company, the perfect upline. You're a man. You're a woman. You're an adult. You're providing and protecting for yourself, for your life, or for others, whatever it might be. You are the wake-up call. You are the secret. You are the help. You are God's blessing. You prayed for it. That's what you are. So when God led the Israelites out of slavery, did he walk them out or did he give them a path? God gave you a path, an opportunity. He'll walk with you hand in hand and be with you and wake you up and feed you and take care of you. He ain't gonna cook the food for you. You're going to have to get up and cook today. It's hot in the kitchen, but you're going to have to get up and go cook today. It's hot in the desert, but you're going to have to go on a walk today. It's hot and it's tiring and people are going to die and fall off and people are going to stab you in the back and you're going to make mistakes and you're going to wonder, when is it your turn? You might like some people. Here's how you know somebody like actually wants to be successful or not is when God hits you with, hey, listen, if you take a wrong turn, it's going to cost you 40 years to get what you want. Dog, if you ain't willing to pay 40 years, you didn't want it bad enough. You were praying for something that was never really meant to be yours because you wanted to skip the journey. The journey is the blessing. I didn't want to have to start over in my life insurance journey 6 years in. Didn't want to. The alternative is quit and be like the rest of you. And it's not me shaming you. It's me hoping and praying that somebody, one person, who knows, will watch this, watches and realizes you are the blessing. You are the help. You are the man, the woman that's going to break that generational curse, that's going to break that curse. Listen, you're going to break the curse today, not next week, not next month, not next year. You're going to break the generational curse today. You know how? Just one step. You don't need to get the million a day. You don't need 100 billion a day. You don't need to win the fight today. You don't, like, so many individuals get it so twisted with, man, I need to get it all done today. You need to take one step in the right direction. You need to realize you've been messing up. You've been eating the wrong things, doing the wrong things, reading the wrong things, filling your day full of routines of, oh, well, this online course guy and this online coach guy said this, and this guy with the Lamborghini said this. Everybody gets to where they're going, not by just thinking, waiting, and hoping and praying around. It's the doing. It's the doing. It's the doing that you're missing out on right now. You need to do more, and you're going to get smarter in the doing more. You're going to get stronger in the doing more. Everybody's like, how do I get smart like him? Well, he did more than you. He's got more reps than you. He's got more scars than you. You got to go get your scars. There ain't no way around it. Like, if you want heaven, you got to be willing to die. Everybody want to go to heaven. Nobody want to die. And I'll leave you with this. Two of my favorite movies, but I'll tell you this, is I think of one of my favorite movies with the 300 Spartans. And I actually shared this verse this morning in my Bible group, and really for myself. And I'm not perfect whatsoever. I don't rub the word of God in people's faces. I actually have a lot of issues. But I'll tell you this. One of my favorite movies is 300. And I actually did some historical studying on 300. And if you understand 300, King Leonidas was this Spartan king. He was the youngest of two brothers. The oldest died, and then I think the second oldest, I think he ended up somewhat killing or like overtaking and taking the throne. And he went through the Spartan schooling, kind of like in the movie, I think it's like a gogi or something they call it, where as young boys until they're men, they're literally just brutalized and raised in a forest and just made into a man's man, something that would just send shivers down your spine as a man today. And obviously he goes on and he fights the Persians with King Xerxes, and this guy's got tens of thousands. They project it was probably, the movie makes it look like millions, but maybe like 100,000 men. Now, Leonidas took 300 men to go fight those 100,000 men, the Persians. And in the midst of this battle, most people don't realize this, is there was really only one 300 battle, and it wasn't Leonidas. He actually, historians believe, had close to 5,000 or 7,000 men with him. If you look in the Bible, it is in Gideon where, and I'll give you the exact verse and the exact situation and scenario because it's on my story here and I don't want to mess it up. Gideon versus the Midianites. Gideon started with 32,000 men to fight a massive army, but God told him to cut it down to just 300. Why? Because God didn't want them to think their victory came from numbers. It came from obedience, faith, and precision. And so what I got from this is everybody gets so obsessed with the King Leonidas and I'm so strong and look how powerful I am. And what your strength and your over-glorification of yourself, what it does is it gets you where you're at. You're broke watching this video wondering how can you figure it out in life insurance sales if you're still watching. And your strength and your faith, putting it all in yourself, is what got you to where you're at. If you're so great, why haven't you figured it out yet? And the difference between Gideon is Leonidas had 7,000 something men and he ended up dead. Gideon had 300 men. And God kept him alive. When you put your strength and your faith into God and then you pair it with action and discipline and actually be willing to pick up that sword and go to war, and what does that translate to you in your business, in sales? And why is that even relevant to this? Why are you talking to us about a Bible verse? Is some of you got too many leads. You have too many resources. You got too many opportunities. You got 32,000 things in your life that you're holding on to that you're saying, look how good and great I am. And God's calling you and saying, cut it all. You don't need him. You don't need her. You don't need that resource. You don't need that contract. You don't need that guy hovering this over your head saying, well, we got this and we got that. And you won't win this if you don't got this. I won't win this if I don't got God. That's my faith incorporated into business. That's what got me through. How am I going to figure out how to sell life insurance at 18 years old and nobody knows who I am, what I am? I have no money. We are basically poor in America. I sold all my mom's TVs and sold everything. I sold my first car, was a 1970 something Cadillac sedan DeVille, just to get the money to afford to get the license to afford to drive to a territory and pray to God that I would find a way and an opportunity. You've got more than enough resources right now. Your ancestral bloodline had less and did more. You have more and you're doing less because your dependency is on everything but what it really needs to be on. God, and go to work. Wake up, say a prayer, and then go get what you prayed for, dog. You got it backwards. You out here trying to go get this and go get that and let me get as much as this and that and accumulate all of these different. You're doing it backwards. You're doing it backwards. Simplify your life. You don't need 32,000 different resources, 32,000 men. I need 32,000. Somebody did more with less. So that's what I got for you guys today on how to make money fast in the life insurance space. So hope this helps you guys. Have a blessed day.